Hello everyone. Today Mega Audio TV will analyze and tell you the emotional love story of Jack and Tu Tien, set during a dramatic storm. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to support us. It gives us more motivation to create even better videos. Enjoy the video. Now let's dive into today's story. The night sky was dark and ominous, with heavy clouds swirling as if ready to swallow the small village where Tu Tien lived. The wind howled, carrying leaves and dust, blending with the deafening sound of thunder. Tu Tien sat curled up in the wooden farmhouse, her arms wrapped around her knees, her eyes solemnly staring outside. The storm had arrived unexpectedly, wreaking havoc on everything. The vegetable beds, the medicinal herbs she had lovingly nurtured were all knocked down by the cold winds. Mud from the nearby stream overflowed into the yard, covering the paths and even seeping through the door cracks into the house. The tiled roof rattled. Rainwater dripped down onto the floor, forming swirling puddles. Tu Tien had known hardships in village life, but this storm brought a fear she had never felt before. The farm, her sanctuary, her second home after years of wandering, was now crumbling before her eyes. She could hear the villagers calling each other for help, but the wind drowned out their voices. "What should I do now?" Tu Tien whispered, her voice trembling, a helplessness squeezing her heart. Memories of lonely days came rushing back, making her feel small before the fury of nature. In that moment of despair, Jack's image came to her. He, the light in her darkest times. Tu Tien quickly grabbed her phone, her fingers frantically dialing Jack's number. The ringing tone dragged on, every second feeling like a century. "Jack, please pick up," she murmured, tears streaming down her face. A loud thunderclap startled her, and she clutched the phone like a lifeline. In the city, Jack was at his office at the herbal medicine company reviewing plans. His phone vibrated, Tu Tien's name appeared, and his heart skipped a beat. "Tien? What's going on? Why are you calling at this hour?" He answered, his voice full of concern. Tu Tien's voice burst out frantic. "Jack, it's a huge storm. My farm. It's all damaged. I'm scared." Her voice cracked, making Jack's heart freeze. He grabbed his jacket and shouted to Hi, I'm going. Then bolted out the door, braving the storm and the night. The mountain road to the village was slippery and dangerous. Jack rode his motorbike, soaked in rain and mist, the wind pulling at his hands on the handlebars. In his mind, there was only one thought. "Tien, I'm on my way." The village road was flooded. Pine trees blocked the path, but Jack didn't stop. He remembered the light in Tu Tien's eyes when she talked about her farm, her dreams rooted in that land. He couldn't let her face this alone. When Jack arrived at the farm, devastation lay before him. Oak fences collapsed, vegetable beds buried in mud, rainwater had flooded the floor. He pushed the door open and called out, "Tien, where are you? Tu?" Tien, curled up in a corner, heard his voice and immediately burst into tears, running into his arms. "Jack, you came?" she whispered, sobbing into his chest. Jack held her tightly, feeling her body trembling from the cold and fear. "I'm here, Tien. As long as you're okay, everything else can be fixed." His voice was warm, like an unbreakable promise. Jack helped Tu Tien sit down and gently wiped her face with a towel. "Don't be afraid. I'm here. The storm will pass." Tu Tien held his hand tightly and whispered, "Jack, the farm means everything to me. If I lose it, I don't know what to do." Jack gripped her hand, eyes filled with resolve. "You haven't lost anything. The farm can be rebuilt, but you are what matters most. As long as you're safe, I'll do everything else." Jack rolled up his sleeves, started cleaning the mud off the floor, and blocked the leaks. Tu Tien looked at him, gratitude filling her heart. "You don't have to do all this," she said softly. Jack smiled gently. "Tien, let me take care of you. Please." Once things were stable, he pulled her into his arms and gently stroked her hair. "Tomorrow, I'll bring Hai and the others to help fix everything. You're not alone." Tu Tien leaned against his chest, listening to the steady beat of his heart. The feeling of safety slowly pushed away her fear. Early in the morning, sunlight filtered through the few remaining leaves on the trees, casting a gentle, soothing glow over Tu Tien's farm-like nature's attempt to heal the wounds left by the storm the night before. The scene was still, chaotic, broken wooden fences, vegetable beds buried in mud, and the back of the wooden house left exposed, allowing blazing rays of sunlight to pour in. Tu Tien stood in the yard, her eyes tired but no longer lost like the night before. The young woman took a deep breath, trying to gather her strength. The storm had passed, but what it left behind weighed heavily on her heart. The farmento which she had poured her passion and hope now looked like a shattered painting. Laughter and voices from the village startled her. A group of villagers and some neighbors were approaching the farm, carrying hoes, shovels, and large sacks. Leading the group was Uncle Hoa, the village head, who had always treated Tu Tien like his own granddaughter. "Tu Tien, we heard the storm hit your farm badly last night, so we came to help." Uncle Hoa called out warmly. Overwhelmed, Tu Tien's eyes filled with tears. "Uncle, everyone," she choked up, at a loss for words to express her gratitude. A neighbor patted her shoulder and said with a smile, "Don't worry, the whole village is here. We'll help you rebuild everything." Everyone got to work right away. The men cleared fallen trees and reinforced the fences. The women helped Tu Tien clean the mud inside the house, while some young men carried clean water from the village well to wash down the yard. Tuan, a calm and reliable man, brought a notebook and sat down with Tu Tien to assess the damage. "Tu Tien, we did a quick inspection. Most of the vegetables are gone, about 80% of the beds are submerged in mud. Many of the valuable medicinal herbs are also damaged, though we may be able to salvage some. The roof needs urgent repair, and the fence will have to be rebuilt completely. The local authorities will provide some support, but we'll need a solid recovery plan." Tu Tien nodded, carefully taking notes, a mix of sadness and gratitude in her heart. "Thank you, Tuan. Thank you, everyone. I wouldn't know what to do without you all." Amid the bustle, a motorbike arrived at the gate. It was Ba Loi Jack's mother. She got off quickly, carrying a large bag. Her steps hurried, her eyes full of worry. Tu Tien ran out to greet her. "Ba Loi, why did you come all the way up here?" Ba Loi held her hand and looked around the damaged farm, sighing deeply. "Jack called and told me about last night. I was so worried I had to come see how you were." "Oh, my dear girl, why didn't you say something sooner so I could help?" Tu Tien smiled, eyes red with emotion. "I'm okay now, thanks to Jack. He helped me get through the night." Ba Loi gently sat her down and pulled out a steaming hot container of chicken porridge and some pastries from her bag. "Eat something. Don't let yourself go hungry. After a storm like this, you need strength to start over." She carefully opened the container and scooped out a spoonful, offering it to Tu Tien with motherly tenderness. Tu Tien took it with shaking hands, tears falling again. Bah. I miss my father. If he were here, I know he'd be worried for me too. Ba Loi stroked her hair gently and said in a warm voice, Tien, you're a strong girl. Wherever your father is, I'm sure he's proud of you. And as for me, I think of you as my own daughter. So if you need anything, just tell me. Don't keep it inside. Tu Tien nodded, eating spoonful by spoonful, feeling the warmth of the food spread through her. Ba Loi sat beside her, telling stories of her own, hardships long ago, and how kindness from others helped her overcome them. You see, the whole village is here for you, and Jackie cares deeply for you. Don't be afraid. Things will get better. Her words gave Tu Tien strength. She looked out into the yard, where everyone was still working hard, and smiled. I'll do my best, Ba. I don't want to let anyone down. By midday, the farm was already starting to recover. A temporary fence had been set up, the mud in the house cleaned, and part of the drainage system restored. Ba Loi stood up, patted Tu Tien on the shoulder. I'll head back now. Jack will come up this afternoon. Rest a bit. Don't overwork yourself. Tu Tien walked her to the gate, warmth in every step. She watched the older woman disappear down the path and whispered, Thank you, Ba, and thank you, Jack. Today's episode truly touched my heart. The love and support from the villagers and Ba Loi's motherly care show that Tu Tien is not alone. The scene where Ba Loi brings warm porridge and comforts her like a mother is such a beautiful, heartfelt moment after the storm. And though Jack didn't appear directly this time, his love is still present, felt through his concern and his actions the night before. What do you think about the human kindness in this story? If you were Tu Tien, what would you do to rebuild the farm? Leave a comment and let Mega Audio TV know. Don't forget to subscribe for the next episodes.